This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, love and marriage. It's a life you can't get rid of. Ask the local Filipinos here, and they will say his elementary. Try to separate them. It's an illusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion.
Can you guys hear that echo?
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
Can you hear me?
Go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Life isn't easy with Heidi, American wife. So
Sound good.
George tries, but sometimes cries. But the
Dang internet.
each other you cannot deny.
Dang software. Brain software.
Like no other. Love and marriage go together like a carabao and
Good morning. Give me a minute. Could be the internet software messing with it. Did that echo when it was playing, guys? And can you hear me? Why I get this? Let's see. Make sure that it's okay. No, I did turn that off this morning. Yeah, because if I run that at the same time, I get what happened is when I first started playing this, it started glitching. So it glitched, went down like the camera went down, and then it came back playing the song double, and there was a bad echo. Who knows why? Okay, so good morning. Never say never. All right, so this will be interesting. I'll try not to talk about myself today. This will be hard. But it does pertain to myself because who more than me as a female expat and seeing all these other people here that are coming here for retirement, whether they're disabled, whether whatever it is, there's a few things. I seen another vlogger in Angeles City, and I won't say his name, that did something recently talking about amounts of money, what to do, what not to do, and I think his list was unreasonable. Just forget about it. I don't even know why he's here because he's part of that list. And I'm like, okay, but that's the same with me. Just because we're giving advice and talking about it and bringing it up, it's usually from our own experience. It's usually because we're going through it and we're hoping somebody along the way is going to learn something. The same with my illness. Why are you putting yourself out there? You should be expected to be picked on. Why would you do that for a little bit of money? That's not what it's about. It is definitely not about the money. Even down to the e-begging they're talking about. I think, I'm not going to go through the amounts. I can only tell you what's being applied towards the main funds. Under 5,000 towards the main thing, except for that fund that was given for my doctor appointments at my heart specialist. And it's like that's not trying to whatever, but it also indicates that I don't have any more emergency funds. Okay, the fact that I can't afford somewhere between 40 and 60,000 pesos to enter the hospital. So, the biggest misinformation I heard about that is some idiot said that I can go and get a promissory note. And two other vloggers that started a while back also said the same. One, they just trying to show their ass. They're mad because their asses got blocked on the channel. They went talking shit on another channel, but it's not true. They don't hand out promissory notes here. Okay, they do, like George said, you can get one if you back it with, let's say, family members, with specific bank accounts and properties, and it's for specific. I can't go in and say, hey, don't know how long I'm going to be in the hospital, enter there, and then not get a promissory note. That is not the rules. That is here in between. And the one dumbass vlogger said he takes his disabled kid in and they do promissory notes all the time. And I'm like, well, if you had money to repay it and you're not in my boat, what the fuck are you even talking about? Go sit down somewhere. The deal is that it doesn't matter how you actually prepare to come here. There is no perfect time. When we left the United States altogether, we had 60,000, some credit cards, residual income. no intent for any YouTube money, which brings in a few hundred a month. That actually is just what, well, to Filipinos it wouldn't be chump change, but it's not what you actually live on. But there are people that come here with $500, half the residual income we have, and they are relying on YouTube. They work it like a full-time job. The problem is there is no perfect answer. There really isn't. The amount of criticism that's coming through was triggered by an entire Facebook group of hundreds of comments on how much for an emergency fund. I'll tell you all day, you think I'm AIing everything and my medical and all that bullshit? These dumbasses, most their answer was 3 months. That's the AI answers. That is a very common, that's not because it's real. If you want the real facts, you come here several times and check it out yourself. Talk to people that are going through it. Don't get your shit on Facebook. I bring it up because I like talking about their dumbasses. The fact they said 3 months worth of income, let's say give or take for most of them is $6,000, that's not enough to come on. We went through our money because our plane tickets cost 3 times the amount when we left Mexico holding to come into the United States. I have had some medical done myself. We had helped some family members during all that fire shit and flood shit that was going on in the United States. We've had expenses. Things are cheap here, but they're not that cheap. You go to replace something, it's going to cost. You have a car repair, it's going to cost. We do not have access to those funds no more. It doesn't matter. I'm fucking telling you that they're gone. That's all that matters. And if you get a girlfriend that's slide and underhand or family members, they will drain that money. That's all you need to know. Even 60,000 isn't enough. Most of the answers is 20,000 US. That's a good start. It really is. And the other stupid thing is, yeah, most people don't have any medical issues when they leave. That's bullshit. Right now, it's a fact that over 90% of people, no matter what country they're from, over the age of 60, have at least one chronic issue. And you all don't think these other vloggers that's got diabetes and they're overweight themselves and unhealthy looking. You ain't no Arnold Schwarzenegger or no physical appearance of health. It's just where it is. It's exactly where it is. So triggered by these idiots that are leaving, all these stupid comments, I'm going to go through their comments today. There is no right answer. Either you're going to come or you're not. I still recommend you come. Because even in my worst case scenario, I can afford things here in the Philippines. If I was back in the United States, it would not work. And for most people, it probably wouldn't work for them too. It's one of the biggest reasons they're here. You're risking and gambling. That's what I did. And now I'm here to testify. Okay? I'm not your freak show. I mean, for you idiots, it probably is. I am a person that's going through something that has chosen, not accidentally slipped out. Oh, well, we'd have found out about Heidi or we'd have seen she was sick. No, bullshit. I did. I don't have to appear on this channel. I choose to do it, and I definitely choose to leave all the shit out on the internet. If I didn't want the shit out there or care half of what y'all say about me, then I wouldn't be on. Okay? Because that shit would go silent in a few months. So it is by my choice, not by your lips. That is for sure. And there is no right answer, but don't be stupid and think you're above like this other vlogger, specifically this vlogger, talking about, and you probably will even know who he is. His specific answer is if you don't have the money, don't come. You don't have the residual income, don't come. You don't have a big amount of emergency fund for medical, don't come. You got mental illness, don't come. And if you can't walk around on the street and can't walk, which I would agree, but you can't say because I will not go out on these streets and walk around that I shouldn't have came at all. If my ass decides to sit up in this apartment and eat 10 pizzas, that's what I'm going to do. My ass would do it in the US, but I wouldn't be paying all the money. Okay, or my neighbors wouldn't be shooting at me, or I wouldn't be attacked by something stupid. You get my point. Everybody's going to have their reasoning. And these same overweight, mouthy, whatever they are guys are actually sitting on a couch anyways like me, just in their country talking shit. You can't tell me that the person running his mouth don't have none of the above. So there's definitely one or two of those things striking you, Mr. Perfectality. No mental issues, no pre-existing condition. Then you fucking do another video and explain these pre-existing that wouldn't exist on the average person coming here. We're not talking about these 30-year-olds over in Boracay. You telling me you don't have zero? Well, then you're that 10%. If it came down to the 10%, the fucking tourism and board of retirement, all that shit people coming here would be gone. Would be absolutely gone. Okay? So it's just insane. I don't regret what I've done. I still stand by what I've done. And it's just where it is. You're not pinning me in a corner. Baby put baby in her own damn corner. And every day I'm living my best life. It's just where it actually is. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's talking about the average age of retirement. I don't know. Some people leave early instead of they come here for a couple years before they get their check, which is a limit, by the way. Don't be really stupid on top of stupid. Don't, like some of these guys we've said, oh my God, you cannot come here with no monthly income and then 15,000 in the bank. You just can't do it. Thinking you're going to last 3 years on it because they AI'd and read on Wiki that, wow, they're only making 5,700 and something or 6,000 a year. I can do it. Yeah, they're eating fish and starving to death. The places they're living in, it is not the same Philippines. And, this is a third world country. You have to double down and be prepared. I have George. I have George's family that doesn't ask for money. I go through all of these things, and you guys all think you have it made because you're watching these other vloggers. And the reason I'm criticized and done this is not because I'm nasty and that, oh, she's the typical American woman, all that. You don't want the truth. You'd rather be coddled by people that got degrees. You'd rather be coddled by these idiots walking around Walking Street. You'd rather be coddled by these girls that, I know everything about America and a Twinkie. Go fuck yourselves. Some of the stupidest comments came up recently from a live stream that I attended, and I'm like, y'all saying the same thing. You have another person that had my physical echocardiogram, and I'm still a liar. But then these people had turned it into I'm obese over and over again, and that lupus, depending on the testing, might be so, but it's on her paperwork. No, lupus is a real goddamn thing. A real thing. It can sit in remission or it could do what it did to me. It was so, caused me to be tired, caused me to slow down going anywhere. And yeah, of course I'm not mobile. When I left the United States, I was more than active and I was not this size. Okay. It didn't happen because I came here and just sat around. It is a combination of the lupus. We were locked down during the pandemic. A lot of people gained weight during that. Okay, so we eat. So it's not like, surprise. But the whole scenario is it is funny how judgment is passed quickly. And, oh, well, you passed judgment. I wouldn't give her a dime. And here you are and blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. And I'm still better than you. I still know what I'm talking about. And I'm quite confident about that. You're afraid of what you don't understand, and somebody allegedly like me might have hurt you, or you don't like me being so forward. It's not your cup of tea. I would tell you not to watch, but y'all still watching. Trolls and whoever. I was going to say something else, but I'll leave that out of there. But the whole point is you're watching because you're obsessed, period. So, like George said, we were discussing that. We were like, yeah, they're just waiting for my demise, just like they were doing Mark Thornton, just like they were doing other people. It's what people do. It's why I watch Lifetime movies and all these crime shows and everything. It's the drama. We all like drama, and I'm feeding your drama. So, welcome to the show. It's just where it is. Yeah, status elite. You got that right because I know that. Y'all ain't telling me nothing. Some dumbass was on that live stream trying to throw me under the bus the whole time when he came up on the panel, but it's just this. That's all it is. You ain't taking away my joy and bitchiness, or if I want to call you out or whatever. My life goes on the moment that this goes off. And I am a survivor and I will. I'm going to fight till the end. You doing that doesn't change anything. And you talking about, well, I wouldn't give money. Your ass wouldn't give money to begin with, and you are that type of person. Oh, I left her channel because of her talking about Trump and all that. Well, if you're still doing all that, that's on you. If you choose politically because I said that and it was some truths out there that's been proven, then you didn't belong on the channel. She said that I was like him. Well, then move on. I didn't say that. I was talking to a troll. So if that was you, then it applied. But I said that you're probably like him. I didn't say you, but that person that was a Trump supporter, probably more than he was a Republican, just went off the chain. So if you want to separate yourself from all that, that's up to you. This is our channel. This is me doing live streams. I'm going, especially, that was probably months ago, because I believe this person's been gone for a few months. And now the president is showing his ass more and more and more every day. The whole world sees it. And there's so much sympathy like going on for the Americans right now. It's unreal. So I pray for America because it's not going to get any better. So it's just where it is. So let me move on from that. But yeah, that person was whining, oh, I left her channel and I won't support her no more because she made fun of me as a Trump supporter. And no, I remember when I said that day. It wasn't you. There was somebody on there throwing Trump shit in there. And I'm like, yeah, you ain't coming in here with that. No, no, thank you. Hey, what's going on, Fallen Center? It's okay for other channels to put him down, and you all are still in there doing support. So you're choosing it because of who I am. You just don't like who I am, not what I'm saying. So either way, like that. There's your high sign. Get the high heck out of here, man. Yeah, yep, you're on time. Hey, what's going on, Sultan, Kumasta, Ate, Heidi, and Kuya? George is actually on the move today. He probably gonna come back and crash the live. So, I mean, it's his channel. He's allowed to. I prefer that he doesn't, so we don't get into it. But you know, life is life. I've been watching that Fatal Vow show, and I'll tell you what, based on real stories, I'll tell you what, me and George is like Adam and Eve compared to Ike and Tina Turner the other day. You know what I mean? When we were on air, no, we're puppy dogs. We always work things out, and we're around each other all the time. That's another part of retirement. Although he goes over to his family's house, he stays over there, he comes back, and we go through this. There's always some sort of understanding, and people get upset, things are said, and especially now I'm cranky. I hardly tolerate anything he says these days, because when you're in pain all the time, some people either buckle it up and say nothing, or everything's an attack. And pretty much everything I said, even the cats aren't safe right now. So hey, good morning, Sarah. Good morning. What is going on? The hey to the roomies. Slick Rick is in the house. Tio Chong is in the house. Say hey, what is going on? Hey, what's going on? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Good morning to you, Heidi. Much love from New York. Hey to New York. Oh my God. Last night I was having like these weird dreams. So I told you guys I fall asleep for a few hours and then I wake right up and then I stay up and do stuff. So it's just like a constant, like it seems like I'm sleeping all the time. And I was sitting there hot as hell. The power went out. I laid there for an hour. There was no power on and the house was heating up. And I literally did wake up sweating. I thought it was a dream. And yeah, power went out again yesterday. And so, yeah, it was down for like 2 hours, but it happened 6, 7 at night. Man, it was getting hot. It was like 100 yesterday. But yeah, I was thinking of New York and thinking about, I was like, yeah, man, power outage. Having lunch leftovers, the last night's dinner. Ah, I'm retiring here because I'm a male. A mallybog? Ah, everybody's saying their hellos. Some people talk out their asses, right? And it just, a lot of them never even been here that's going on these channels. You know, I sat there on that live stream and, in my opinion, sat through that because I was waiting to come on and everything. And it's like, you guys didn't have nothing new. These guys kept repeating the same thing. Overweight, obese, should have, could have. And basically, they tried to redirect the live stream to any drama they could find about me. Oh, she deserves what she gets. It was redirected about medical, but then it fell into more drama after I left the channel, or left the channel on the live stream. But it's the same thing. Those are the same people spreading misinformation. And I would like to call people wonder why I don't call out channels. It's for multiple reasons. When you directly call out a name, it's definitely not just a first name like Carrie. You have to fully prove that I'm talking about your channel. And not saying your channel name is not going to fucking help you. And it's not defamation. So these guys, okay, weirdly used to come on our channel, but then they come in promoting their channel. They come in there starting shit, coming in like they're better than you. We're not here to allow that. You can go on the last channel and say shit. Maybe some people don't mind that. They want some sort of people on their channel. I don't care if there are 4 people on there. You're not coming in to do all the above. We've said that from the beginning. And 2 channels went on his channel and gave misinformation. She's lying. She could get a promissory note. She doesn't need any money. What kind of misinformation are you giving? Or where do you think you're coming? You're a fucking dickhead that was on that live stream to fucking tell people she doesn't need any money because she's lying about the promissory note. I've been quite forward. I'm not going to be able to collect this money before I die. I'll be lucky to make it past my birthday, and it has been day to day. Today's oxygen is still reading 85. It'll go up to 95, 96. That was earlier this morning, not sitting here right this second, but I can talk with that type of oxygen. It's just amazing. But anyways, the fact that makes you more than a fucking dickhead. What did I do to you to make you feel that you could actually say, based on that information, that I could walk into a place and they're going to keep me in there for 10 days, okay, before they're going to do that, and you think that they're just going to take me into a cath lab and give me stents? No, they're going to make you pay for that up front. That's not all free with the promissory note. These people are liars. Liars. Like George said, that guy that was in the hospital, if he didn't pay for he had to pay for the metal hip they were willing to throw their hospital fees away, but nobody's giving you that free part. They don't promissory note that shit. You're full of shit. Those stents are expensive. Doesn't matter if you're in a third world country, they cost. They'll give me an aspirin over meds or whatever. You're not going to get full treatment based on a promissory note. You're going to go to a public hospital and your ass is going to sit there and get bare minimum to stabilize that heart issue and out. I'm stable enough. Could die any day, but the whole point is that without the stents, I'm dying slowly every day. The fluid on me may not even be considered an emergency, and I'm not blowing every dime I have to sit in a hospital over that. It's either all or nothing. And I'm well aware of it, but don't tell people you can go in and get a promissory note. My disabled kid goes in all the time based on blah, blah, blah. And he gets things paid for. You know you're watching right now. Bullshit. What do you go in there for a day or something, and then they give you whatever? What are you getting a promissory note if you did all the right shit anyways? Don't talk about me when you got fucking shit in your own backyard and a bunch of dogs licking your ass. Bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't get promissory notes. It has been done on the occasion. It is not a norm. Don't motherfucking tell people that Heidi's lying and where am I spending the fucking money? I have my own monthly income coming in. We could afford shit before. It is this that's catching up. This is double the medication, if not more. George just refilled one of the lupus meds and it was $120. It was like 6,000 pesos. These items are adding up several hundred, not two. When I say several, George says that means two. No, it's closer to $400 a month in meds. If it wasn't for the extra money, then, say the oxygen machine, that would just put a kink on my budget. It really would, now that we don't have any savings where you thought you could save each month and then some of it'll build up. No, it doesn't build up that quick. So my point is that shit happens and we're using the money for these type of expenses and saving, okay, to see if this can be done. But do you realize if I continue to save at this rate, it would take 4 or 5 years to save the money? And there's no way I'm living that long. I'm coughing up white phlegm. No, I'm done. I was kind of hoping that Mike would even know when I talked about that. He should have been able to back me up. I'm not going to live beyond this summer. He went on about something about having cancer, and he might be in here. Hi, Mike. That's something totally different that people live another 5, 6 years. With my obesity, which is evident, and with my lupus, and now you got the breathing issues, the coronary artery disease, the clogging, and I've got a valve going out at the same time. The longer I wait for those stents, the heart's going out quicker. A cardiac output of 2.5, I should have been dead a month ago. How I'm still alive, the doctor said, it is a miracle. This is not AI. This is not MDing. I've got a fucking medical book right here that I had from fucking schooling. Okay? Point being is that it's not, if I live, it's because I'm a stubborn old fucking bitch. That's why I'm living. You know what I mean? Not by your grace of go get a promissory note, don't give that girl no money. What the fuck would make you guys go in there and say that? And you know what? The money's not going to come anyways. It is the gracious people that's been helping me. It's the regulars that know the real deal. It's not you. It's not you. You go on and be a savior. What is going on? Governor Professor. I keep 300,000 emergency fund, enough for a small condo, a car. Yeah. Now, see, that is really well, most definitely. And I was looking at the insurance again. I had a travel insurance, like Geo stayed on travel insurance forever. I didn't. I started looking into the long term care, and it was too expensive for what was going on with me. They're going to find out some of my other medical, and there's just no way. It wasn't killing me, but they're not going to insure me. And I am overweight. Boom, you got me. Anybody 50 pounds overweight would start paying out the ass. Yeah, they're willing to insure me somewhere between $700 and $800 a month, and I'm not doing it. Up to now, almost 5 years in, I was paying for little things here and there. It wasn't breaking us apart. I didn't think that would happen. So if I had to start buying insurance a while back at that cost, I could have, I guess, actually saved the money, but I wasn't going to save $800 a month either. You see what I mean? In other words, I wouldn't have just taken X amount of my check and put it away like that. That's extensive. Nobody does that. If you do, you ain't got nothing else going on, and I'm going to live my life here, aka air conditioning. But no, that is really well. Yeah, that's definitely the A. Let's see, Heidi, the AP behind you should read. Oh yeah, there it is. I guess it is. Damn cats. That's because I'm the AP News or something. Is that what they call themselves? There you go. Paul. Hey, Paul. Thanks. Because the cats get on the back there all day long and they run and they chew on it and it falls down. That's why all those extra toys, like I'm pointing with the pointer, like you guys can see the pointer. We had like that little toothpaste and our little stuffed animals and the toast. They've knocked it down so many times during the day. I just get tired of when I walk by it, putting it up there. Then they take it and drag it to the floor. And they're cat kids. So having 20,000 in savings to go to the Philippines is a good buffer. It is. If you have really bad health issues and you have no business living in the Philippines, take care of the big health first. Yeah. And I was fully checked out. I had lupus. I have neurological and suffer for some migraines. All that can be taken care of here. These are not things that were going to do me in. Okay. So my disabilities that I'm being paid for were not a matter of life and death and could not get treatment for something cheap. I didn't know that between my eating habits and my lupus, okay, and APS, the sticky blood does clog up the coronary arteries. It could be part of it, or it could just be that I like pizza. Who fucking knows? Never denied it, but right now it looks like part of it is medical. Okay, who knew that this was going to happen? We never even think about that. Never. So, you know, people most people have at least one chronic issue before they come here. But it's crazy how y'all won't say nothing that, somebody will come here with 100, 200,000, and they're in a wheelchair. They got chronic asthma where they can't breathe at all. They got a CPAP machine on. By the way, never had a CPAP machine, never sat around with chronic asthma. So these are one thing I didn't have, but these guys come with everything, taking medication because of Crohn's disease. They come in here with all these health issues. Okay, so maybe nothing will ever happen to them to when they die, but they all risk it too. And a bunch of them come up with problems. When you see these homeless people on the street that are expats, look at they're in bad shape, not because they're in bad shape because they're on the street. They've got health issues. Like the guy's legs are swelling, they've got heart issues, and they've got all kinds of problems. Most of them that you are finding on the street will mention they're going through a health issue. They knew that when they left. But you know what? When I read through the comments, not one of you guys are saying, "Oh my God, you got health issues. It's because you did this or that." No, it's, "Oh, poor guy is homeless and blah blah." You quick to jump on me? Why? Because I say stuff about other channels, and it's part of doing. Hey, this is going on in the Philippines. In other words, if you don't understand, you didn't understand to begin with. But y'all never say nothing about that. So, but no, I get it. Yes, if you have the big ones, like there are people here with diabetes, serious diabetes. In my opinion, your ashes should have stayed home. In my opinion, you should have. Because some of that shit can get really serious. People can end up losing their legs and amputation. There was a guy here lost both of his legs, double legs. Not the one Mike was talking about. We're talking about like a whole nother guy went home in the end and had his legs taken off, had diabetes. You're that for sure. If they would have said I had that, I wouldn't even have thought about leaving. Lupus and migraines and some neurological issues that affect me in a different way would not have kept me from going. Not compared to what was going on in the US and the finances, and it was our final destination. I don't feel it was a bad decision. Like, it was like, but no, I still would have done it anyways. A lot of people, "Oh, would you stay home?" No, I'd have still done it. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a dad bod now, right? All of them do. I've looked at some of them, and it's like, dang, some of the actors, yeah, right? Heidi flies, no sugars, right? Expats that sold everything move here, set a floor. When your balance falls below a certain level, force yourself to move back. In my case, enough for a small condo. Yeah, but that rarely happens. We didn't leave. Why would we at that point? When our money disappeared, we decided like what was left, we just kept going through it. And this wasn't for a bunch of bullshit. So when it got down to that, sorry, that doesn't work for everybody. There's two of us. We'd have to reapply for immigration for America. We would need all the money to get deposits. We're not, as a couple, going to go live with my daughter or somebody else as we rebuild our lives. And starting over with that economy and everything going on, it's not an option for us. Not even close. So it's a good ideal, but in real and reality, we are stuck here. I've said that several times. There is no going back for most of them once they make that decision. It's not easy, and not everybody has that option. Matter of fact, most don't. So a few, 3 out of 10, maybe have that option, maybe four. I wouldn't even give it half the people have that option to go back because the plane ticket money, talking about even as of right now, it would just be ridiculous. Not going to pay 2 grand for a crappy 1 bedroom apartment right now and going to pay $50 worth of groceries a day situation. Not going to do it. Yeah, sure. And yes, Heidi Antics, yes, greasy sugar. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, David, I'm trying to figure out why you're putting a troll's name up there that appears on all the channels, unless you're just saying that's the person. That's not the person running his mouth. These are actual YouTube channels, not troll channels that are wannabes, that's their entire life. So, like winning deluge channels or something. No, that's not who it was. So, um, but I don't know if that's. You can live on 15,000 for 3 years. You find a nice window with a house and a car to live with. Yeah, no, you can't. I'm sorry, you're not doing that here. You're not living on 5 grand a year. They're just the expats aren't. There are other expenses. You can as a Filipino that is used to all that, but you ain't gonna have no life at that kind of money. Yeah, that's for sure. Deep, deep, deep. Um, I know one thing. I've been drinking a lot of coconut water here lately. It's actually really good. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on, David, with your statements. That is kind of, it's not trollish. It's the way you're putting it. I've never seen that's bot like, and you can't be a bot. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're saying weird things, which means you're just in here to disturb the live. Unfortunately, that's what you're up to. Yeah, that's bot stuff. You're not leaving that type of whether you're typing it or not. Let's see. Um, you can live in the Philippines. You can live nice in the Philippines if you budget yourself accordingly. Yeah, and watch what you spend. That is true. I miss George. Yeah, he's still here. He's still around. Maybe when he passes through, we'll tell him to sit down. Hey, that kind of actually rhymed. No, he's still here. Like I said, it is more of his choice to not be here most of the time. And it's just because he's got other things going on. And for those that know us, like I said, we've mentioned several times that he does a lot of additional stuff. Now he has additional family members he goes and takes care of and does things. That's just the type of person he is. Therefore, he can do the out and bouts, I can do the lives. And we mentioned that's what was going to happen. And then the last, I wouldn't say last couple lives we fought, we just have it. And just he was, some of the stuff he said was just so irritating. And so then we go through it and everything. And we had a few people that said, "Oh, well, he won't come on there because you attack him all the time." Yeah, okay. He's just got other things to do. So I was just like, let me just start doing the lives. But yeah, we said maybe he'd come through on things like maybe holidays or here and there, but it is by his decision. And if he comes through here this morning, he's out and about now and comes through, then I'll have him say that himself. That way you hear it. It's just not me saying it. He's a busy guy. He will tell you, I just ain't sitting around all day, or you think that I blah, 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 ain't got no time. And I said, George, you ain't got to explain that to me. If you don't want to, do the channel like you used to, that's up to you. Things change. My retirement savings was totally drained during the pandemic. No, we came during the pandemic. Everything. We had to pay for a bunch of stuff in Mexico before we left. There was a lot of expenses where that 60,000 disappeared. The plane tickets, I don't know, they were up there. They were 3 times the amount that they are now. I want to say it was around 7,000 for one ways. It was something ridiculous. We were paying a lot of money, and so no, a lot of things we didn't count on, and it wouldn't have changed us. Oh, flights are going up by 21%. Yeah. Yeah, just reading from the bottom, that's what I'm trying to go through because a lot of people don't get answered. So Everything's going up there, and it's just going to get crazier. Robert said, "My fetish is hot Filipino women." I don't know why the word hot got held. It's hard saying. Black Grandpa, nobody really triggered me. It's because, um, with what's going on, me more than a lot can talk about like finances, what's going on, what you can come with, what you can't. Another vlogger in Angel City said that it was twofold. He said that if you got any pre-existing condition or any mental issues, or if you don't have the savings in this and that, don't come. And I'm like, dude, you're part of that. What you talking about? And you can't say that every expat coming here does or doesn't have the finances. They're going to come anyways. There is no perfect time to come. But the fact he went that far and said, if you have any medical, don't come. If you have any mental issues, don't come. I'm sorry. Everybody's got something mental going on that would actually like qualify for something. Most anyways, you don't have to put yourself in that box, but there's usually something going on, and especially at our age, a lot of military guys are coming here that's got stuff going on. I'm sorry this is happening, but it's the way he said that. But I guess he was basically trying to go through and say that um, that just watch when you come here. And then there was a whole thing on Facebook about emergency funds, and how much should you bring, or what should you be bringing, or whatever. And a lot of them were like 3 months salary or 20,000, or and it's like the answers were crazy. The answer is there's probably never enough to come here. But don't come here if you've got $700 a month coming in from a very small pension, and you have no money at all to back it up, and you've got stuff going on. There has to be a balance, and you have to know. People kept repeating that you were sick before you even came here, and you should have turned around in Mexico. I knew about my lupus before I left for Mexico. Some things are not going to affect people all the time. Me slowing down, or the muscle aches, or the things I was going through was not enough to say no. So everybody has to make that decision point, right? Well, it's just me being me, and that's why a lot of people don't. I love Trump, but now I'm mad. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry. It's okay if you guys do. It's okay if that's who you voted for. Everybody is independent on what they're doing. But this is the first time that a rating has dipped so low for a person like that. This is the first time that the whole world is being seriously affected by every move that he makes. This is the first. There's all kinds of stuff, from narcissism, dictatorship. The whole world is talking about this. It just, so when it's that obvious and there are things going on, forget about anything criminal and the Epstein files and all that, and plundering the country and the things that are going on. It's just gone insane. It's just, and people don't like me saying it. What do you expect me to say? That I'm just, one, going to agree with people, or, hey, oh my God, this and that. No, it's bad. It is bad, and it's bad on both sides. I'm gonna let you know, Democrats, Republicans, anything political and government, they're ripping people off. So let's just put it that way. I'm a, what do you call that? The opportunist, saying that the whole plan is bad. So I would agree with all sides. There's something going on, but currently what's going on has to be corrected. The war is going to drain us, or drain the country. And maybe give him a good kick in the teeth. Just kidding. I cry baby, but I mean, I am a female that's going through some issues, and different things happen. And good morning, Black Grandpa. Only 54% of you have hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, right. Thanks, Robert. Down to do some sticky ickies with you again when I get back. Okay, I have no idea what that means. There, Adam. Sticky icky with Heidi. Have again no idea. I wouldn't call it a food fetish. I'm telling you, I am not that person. The closest thing is when I met George, we like things that are unusual. Like we ended up getting some sort of blue smoothie the other day that had collagen. It had banana, coconut water, mango. It was made of fresh fruit. And I was just dying of thirst, and we got that. And George was like, oh, get the blue one. They called it Blue Ocean or something. So, yeah, he gets, you know, that's the type of excitement. I don't sit around the way people do. And it seems the more I say that, the more they believe it's the opposite. So let's just leave it at that. I'm bad with sugar. I don't deep fry things. I don't order fast food all day. I don't go through that. I mean, I like my pizza. I've gained some weight. It's where it is. But during the last few months, it's gotten really bad. So, whew. If I went in the hospital, there probably easily 100 pounds would come off. So, water weight wise. But I don't have a. Some people do. Some that's their entire life, like a kinky thing. People never think about the possibility of having health issues until it hits them. Yeah, and the same in the U.S. And a lot of them probably wouldn't deal with it anyways. It's kind of weird. Most of them just let it go until they actually pass away. That's for sure. Oh, okay. When I move to the Philippines, I will live next to Hurley Bar on one side and a hospital on the other and a mortuary and cemetery. Okay. I donated to your GoFundMe page as this preferred site for your needs. Well, here's the thing inside the description to support the channel, which all money is going into it. Any stickers that come through, the monthly money that comes in, it all goes into PayPal and then is actually put towards the one account, that business account that we have. And so both of them take the same amount. Everybody always gets a cut. So that amount it's showing now still had money taken out. That's not an after money. That's a before amount. So it there is a direct PayPal, but it's the same amount. The reason that we refer more people there is so they can see all the numbers that are real. Like, it would explain a little bit more than me just saying, "Hey, I've got congestive heart failure and lupus." It's how it's affecting and why we're trying to do the money. And I'm grateful it's there because currently it's going to be used for care. And so because my sickness is getting worse by the day. I've been coughing up phlegm. My oxygen levels um, fluctuate, from 75. It was 85 this morning, even with oxygen on. And so it's just, I'm having a hard time, but keep pushing through and everything's appreciated. So they're both about the same. They all go into PayPal. No, and that is the truth. And I would agree with that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Adam. Come on, Heidi. The Sims would rather die earlier. And see, I'm kind of that way too. If I thought like right now, there's no regret because I don't want to right now sit in America, okay, long term and not be able to afford anything. I can't rebuy a car that's already been gone for almost 6 years. I can't go through, it would just be so ridiculously broke level that it would be broke. And I can't imagine, not being able to do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have been able to back in America afford these equipments and all this other stuff. And you all can't say go get a job and then you could. That's not the answer. I'm sorry. And telling George to go get one. George ain't going to make it back at this point. It would cost too much to send him back to the US. He's been out of status for years, and we said that. To reapply again would take forever. And I'm not putting him in that immigration situation. Things just aren't good. Um, so I get why people do it. And that is a theory. Like for me, It's like if they're like, oh, you got 10 years, you can either go deal with this and that, or stay back in America, then yes, that's what you're going to do. You're going to live your best 5, 10 years. And I said that the other day, just do it, but don't be totally stupid where you're homeless at the same time. Like right now, to the day I die, I'm not going to go homeless. Okay. It's just not going to happen. I will die more than likely in my sleep, is the outcome. Quick heart attack, that's what's going to happen. But I'm not going to sit here and be going through all these other issues that a lot of people in the US or around the world are going through before they pass away. It's you got to make those decisions whether or not. Yeah, I'm not sure who those people are. Could be sports people, not sure. Yeah, no, it is, but a lot of people feel, and that's their right, as long as they want to make sure that they've got the means to do it. So yeah, they're going to give away the money. There's no doubt. And weirdly, when these guys give away the money versus the way we spend it and we don't have it, it's like, oh, Antics messed up. But this other guy's like, way to go, dude. It's like, okay, things happen. You can't help what actually happens, and everybody's got their thing going on. Yep, the exchange rate is on the up. Yeah. We have another one. I was going to see about releasing it yesterday, but we haven't. He's working on. He's got one that's been edited that he's ready to let go, and then he's got another one. I think it was Mother's Day when he was out doing stuff in the flower vendor and all that. So there's more coming. No, they do. To me, it's not a reason not to come here. I've always said you need to make sure you can get your medicines and see what you're going to do. Because, like I said, if you have issues there, you have them here. It's things like I was checked out. There was no signs, fully checked before I left. Not just someone listening to my heart. No, I had the full, everything, and there was no signs. And actually, I don't think a lot of times there's any signs of that. It's not like I had high blood pressure and that I had this going on before I left situation, even as big as I am. But I started noticing the last few months I was getting more short of breath. My muscles were hurting. I couldn't stand very long. That's when I knew something was wrong. And that was into December, around the 1st of January. And George is like, oh, just rest. It's probably the lupus. And we both said the same thing until went and got checked out. Good morning, Roger. Not yet. That's the one thing I have not eaten. I just can't get past that. My voice is cracking. Yeah, sometimes I can talk a bunch and then it cracks during it because of. Heidi has her own political views and I disagree with her, but that does not mean she is not a nice person or a great person. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like that. If people like them and everything, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm not going to meet up and have lunch with them like, like when people wanted to meet up or. No, all that is set aside. And yeah, of course I'm going to, because I'm a people person. What's going on is affecting everybody, whether it's the Democrat or Republican presidents. And I never was like, I'm a Democrat, I'm sticking with this person, or I'm an independent. No, it's about the people. Believe it or not, this whole channel is about the people. So it's not a, oh, look at me, I'm doing a TikTok dance, or look at me, I'm the king of Angel City, or look at me, I got all these chicks. That's not what we've done. We haven't displayed the wealth or bragged or showed giving things. It's been anything a bitchy, straightforward, just, hey, what the fuck is going on? So, what's your electricity bill? Mine's 35 every 2 months. Yeah, you're lucky on that, Jennifer. I thought you were in the US. I'm not sure. How are you doing? Right now, on average, it is as low as 6,000 pesos up to 10 or 11,000. We are at 100-degree weather. I have been using the air fryer. Dun, dun, dun. Because when he's not here, I just throw something in there that'll toast or something. Um, Let's see. I suspect we have not gotten the most up to date bills that have doubled. We have the same time frame bills that others have been getting, but it did not double. We do run everything. We run AC all the time in the downstairs. We have everything like this desktop. We run fans. There's a few air purifiers in the house. So things get run. We do lights. We have cameras on the property. This adds up. So these are the things we're able to do, and I'm not going to save X amount of money by cutting off the AC. I don't drink. We don't order fast food all the time. We don't travel or do vacations. And it's been like that for years. So the AC is the one thing I was going to have in the Philippines. And you're all in denial if you don't need AC. AC is essential. It does affect the health to sit in the fucking humidity for sure. And especially with my condition, I was not going to sit and there's just no way. But, anyways, I run the AC. Hey, what's going on, Cindy? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, please keep pushing through. Love you. Yeah, I have the good days and bad days. There's days where I'm like, that's it. Like when I was coughing up the phlegm, Cindy, I thought that was it because my grandfather was coughing a bunch of that up in the hospital. And I wasn't even laying even close to flat. I have where the bed is set up during the daytime, and it was in that half position for nighttime, and I just started choking. I was actually asleep, and it's not because I was forcing phlegm from my chest. It just seems that the lungs are having a harder issue, and it's one of the things that starts to shut down. So, but yeah, it was a little scary. I don't understand why more people in the Philippines don't have small solar panels up from China. You know what I heard is they're talking about Morelco wants to regulate everybody else's solar panels here if they don't have proper permits to have them and this and that. In other words, like we have two large panels here we bought a while back, and because with the electric thing going up and everything, we told you guys we had that so we could plug in like the batteries to charge when the power goes out. And this is if it's long term. They're wanting to regulate that. They want to be able to come in and say, take it down. Why? They want you to buy their electricity. I'm like, how are they going to be allowed to say whether people can have solar panels? It's a scam. But no surprise there. We have a few solar panel items. Like we have these. I'll show you this one. This is one that we've had for a while. I was charging it the other day. This right here will run a fan. This will run a fan for like one fan for 12, 14 hours. And we bought two of them. Now, when this one goes out, I can switch that fan into the second one that we have, and this can go on the solar. But that takes hours to bring back half the power, a quarter of the power. So because they're small panels that we have. But at least if we're out of power for a week, at least this we can charge our phone on because it's got one plug to plug in an item. One of these will run my oxygen machine. So that's what we were saying is that we have some battery backups for emergency. So we do have the. Do they have made there? Yeah, I don't know. What's that indicating? If you're talking about here, no, we don't. And I redetermined all of that of bringing some help in, a nurse, their nurse staff nursing places, and all of that. And I just don't feel, although I'm sick and I am at that point, I just can't see a purpose of them being here. Even if I couldn't get out of bed, I mean, what? They're just going to come check and see if I'm breathing, and they're just going to sit here on the couch staring at me all day, being paid 30 to 50,000 a month. I just can't. And 30 would be a low amount, 600, 800 US. No, I don't have funds to keep somebody around that long. So, me and George said that when we know, like I stop eating and drinking, we'll know when it's getting really close. I mean, I could still just die in my sleep, but when there's signs that my heart is totally not working, it'll get to that point. So, but as far as bringing a maid or somebody in here, I can't see that either. I've got George. Yes, no way I want to be caught in America and sent to a government nursing home, right? Yeah. Or just deal with anything that's going on. It's just, yeah, it's kind of insane. And that could be what your kids do to you. Many people refuse to talk about their demise at the end of their lives, but everyone must talk about it. Yeah, especially their next of kin and their wishes. Yeah, you have to get the paperwork. I keep trying to tell George something. There was something the other day. It was time to file taxes again, but we were doing something else. I was like, well, I can show you how to do it. He says, oh, not right now. You're going to be around forever. I said, George, stop saying that. That's you believing that, of course. And so there are things that he just doesn't do that's dealing with, like a lot of women handle this bill and this type of accounts. And really, George was meant to just be the working man, go out and work and come back. He's the mechanic around the house. He's the goer, runner, and doer and helps family. But as far as the behind the scenes things, that's never been, I don't feel has been his forte. Has he done it? Yeah, when I met him, he was in between all of that. He had got out of a marriage, and she, I guess, did the stuff kind of like I do, and that's just the way some of the marriages are. And he seemed to be a little confused when I met him. So, in other words, he was falling behind on things. Not that he didn't have the money, he just didn't. George will allow things to lapse over because he's busy. He just doesn't. But yeah. So I'm concerned that some things he's just not going to know how to do, but I can't keep worrying myself. In the last few months, I've tried to show him things long term and talk about things. He talks a little bit, he jokes, and then he changes the subject. And I think that's the way guys handle it. So who would ever take a promissory note to pay a huge bill? Yeah, that would be everybody. Why bother $700-800 a month insurance when you're a sick person when you can just walk in and get a note and then I'll be dead in 2 months anyways? No. Promissory notes are done on the occasion. Some of the hospitals will agree on it. The fact this guy says he does it all the time, Mr. Mango, you're full of shit. I'll call him by his last, what he calls himself, and I'm like, yeah, you're full of it. If you're doing it, this must be you went into the emergency room and stabilized him because he was having a heart attack, and then they took care of him and let him out in 3 days, and it was under a certain amount, and you've got property. I'm pretty sure you do. Then yes, they're going to possibly do that, maybe, but they're not going to do it several times. They do it all the time for my no. So no, it is not a norm because I finally looked at Georgia's like, I know they do that, but especially when he said that, it made me second guess myself. He says, no, they're not going to do it. I need to go in there for 10 days. We could be talking $3,000 to $5,000 to go into what they want to do. It would be ICU. They're going to drain the fluids. My lungs are having issues. They have to bring down the inflammation. I'm currently having heart issues. Yeah, they're going to try to get rid of that. I may not be in there all 2 weeks, but until they get all the fluid off me, some people are in there for 14 days. I can't risk draining every dime, in an account that we have to actually do this. I think I said we had around 200,000 pesos right now. It would be gone. And I'm sorry, you can't say that's what the money's for. No, I'm not going to risk that. I just, in my opinion, right now, it's what's going to happen is it's just going to come back. Not due to my habits, not due to me eating, not due to me being currently overweight. It's due to my heart has stopped. That's it. It's done. So it's only going to happen in another 10 days. I am what I call self maintenancing at home and seeing my specialist. I can't afford it. So yeah, but I'm like, can I go in and they'll do that? No, they're not going to do that type of bill, and it'll probably be about that just to go in. Who knows? I could be in there for a month. I can't risk any of that. I'm going to die anyways. At least I know I am. I can say it out loud, and that's not a woe is me. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to die anyways, no matter what this is. I get the stents. I go back to the US. I still need open heart surgery. I still have an aortic valve that's going bad. I'm going to still need that, probably be in my 60s. And it's like the outcome, it's just the prognosis. And I was like, oh, well, she's given up. I'm fucking 55 years old. If I want to give up, that's where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. That's just it. To me, the people that go into years of chemo And like my mom had all of that, and she had open heart surgery and then died right afterwards anyways. And I'm like, yeah, I can't see that. I said I would never do that, and that's where I'm at. I'm not going to have a bunch of treatment and be stuck in a hospital when I could be sitting here in my hospital bed in AC in a controlled environment, quiet, not with a bunch of people bugging me, and do my thing. So it's just kind of where it is. But your bill is top 180 a month. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Ronald? Hope you're well. Hey, good to see you. MAID is a medically induced death. Oh, well, I don't know about that. I Isn't that like when you're already in a coma or something? I never claimed to have full medical background or nothing, Jennifer, that you would say that. Why? I mean, I'm sick and I'm in a pain level all the time, but I can't see that. Yeah, no. But I am at the point where I'm not going to go get all this extra stuff and drain the money where I can't even afford medication every month. So, no, I'm being buffered right now for my medications and buying items like the oxygen machine had to be done. So, that type, yeah, I'm not going to, I need to make myself comfortable every day, but I'm not going to go into that or the suicide thing or any of these other things. No. But me not going for additional treatment, spending the current money I've got, that's pretty much cutting my own. I mean, I'm not going to. Oh, Heidi's got excuses. It ain't no fucking excuse. You ain't in my shoes. Somebody the other day, several of them, like, oh, she just makes an excuse about every single thing. She's got an answer. Well, what do you want? Can't get on a plane, okay, because I will need the oxygen machine because that is a long trip, not a trip to the bank where you say, oh, she ain't got no oxygen on. No, that is a long trip. They're not going to let me on without a doctor's note. Not one of them are going to give me a doctor's note. Let's say I lie to them and get on the plane. I will be rolling up in a wheelchair, and when I walk, you can tell there's something wrong. My legs look like shit where the circulation is, but they're going to know I'm sick. They're not letting me on. You all think it's that easy. Well, then get a nurse. Then your answer is get a medical flight. Up to 250, 300,000 US dollars. If I don't have 30, 40, or 50,000 to do a surgery or do what I'm supposed to do, the stent, how am I supposed to do that? Along with the ship. I think the ship is 30 or 40,000. And somebody's like, yeah, you should just do that. It's a 45-day trip. I 50-50, I'll be alive in 45 days. So it's like, no, I'm not getting on a ship, even if there is one medical doctor floating. And no, I am not getting on a ship. And where am I going to come up with that money? Like George goes, if you can come up with that money, then we would just go and get the stents and then you'll fly home. It doesn't, it's appreciated that people are thinking of these things, but it's just, some of it isn't impossible. And I think most people have good intentions. A lot of great advice. Go to Guam, go to Thailand. And it is, believe me, a million times over. And I guess being we've thought about it and it's been going on, I guess at this point, it's like raw skin. It's just kind of like, we thought about that. And I guess you know, it's a one day at a time. George and me are still talking. There could be a miracle. Not the miracle people are thinking about. Oh, clean your diet up and exercise. Oh, you're sedentary. You caused your own issues. Bullshit, sedentary had anything to do with it. There are skinny ass, lazy people laying around all day that never leave the house as an introvert. They sit in a fucking chair gaming all day. And that ain't pertaining to shit. It is what it is. You can see I'm overweight situation. Good for you. You figured that one out. But me, from when I discuss this with people, going into a vegan diet and working out the way you think I can miraculously with what's going on in a cardiac output of 2.5 is not going to correct needing stents. It's not going to correct the aortic valve. It's just going to have me move. And why? So I can sit around and be sore? So I can sit around and possibly have a heart attack anyways? No. Whether I was big or small, that is the outcome. is all of the above. So it's good planning and it's a good thought. And I have, because if I don't cut back on my fluids, the foods I was eating, the sugar and all that, I'm sick on a daily basis. So I'm already doing that. I started that in January. Do I have the occasional jelly bean? Did I have a donut a few weeks back? Yeah. But I'm sorry, you ain't gonna tell me when I know I'm dying on a day to day basis. When George brought those jelly beans in front of you guys are like, oh, yeah, no, fuck that shit. Same guys drinking up alcohol and smoking cigars at the same time with shit going on. It's just, I'm sorry, you do you, man. Hey, what's going on, Scott? 30 to 50,000 a month for a Filipino nurse sounds. No, it's actually not. No, there is an entire professional page, like a website I went to. No, that'd be an underestimate. And they have also Facebook pages where these guys talk about their certificates, and it's got hundreds of thousands of people in there. It's like 300,000. They're looking for work. I'm like, you're in Cabalto? I can't, but I guess they're willing to get down here if they have to. And it's like, that is what they want. What it is on average, it's 1,500. I have to get a calculator. It's 1,500 minimally up to 3,000 pesos for a 12-hour shift. And that is their asking rates. And I'm like, and some don't even mention that's a live-in. But even if you bring them in live-in, a lot of them may not even agree. It could just be they're wanting to do it by the shift. I need so and so for this shift. It's going to be paying 2,000 pesos for this 12 hours. Even if you go by the lowest amount, yes, that adds up really quick. So, in a case like that, let's say in another week I get progressively worse, then we could bring somebody in for half a day. Maybe why George is, you know, when he's doing his stuff. I don't know. I don't know when I would apply 12 hours, but if you go full time or something, yeah, it adds up quick. Yeah, it's not even a joke anymore. So the other amounts is probably somebody under the table that's just going to come babysit you. Some of them call them like nanny babysit or like a companion to somebody sick. So basically to change their diapers. And no, that ain't happening. Yeah. So all of that is not the type of care that I'm at, and nor do I plan to get to that level. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I told George, if anything, I'll be getting a porta potty, which they sell here that they use for pregnant women and older people, and it's going to go right next to the bed in the living room. I'm like, fuck that shit. If I can't, you ain't going to be changing no damn diaper on me. I'm going to find the strength to get up. And that's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's not even cheap. It's cheaper than the US by far because it really gets expensive in the US. But here, still, even at that level, it could add up quick. So, and that would be another situation. A lot of the insurance you all have ain't going to pay for that when you're stuck here and you can't fly home. And a lot of expats cannot fly home. They are stuck in bed with heart issues or things that went south. So when it's not paid for by the insurance and bringing somebody in, then you're self pay. And if you're making 2-3,000 a month income, which would be average, then how are you going to afford to put more than half of your money into that when these guys have 2-3 kids and medicines and other things going on? See, it does become difficult. So it does. And yes, I would have hospice or whatever they would set up. I am at that stage that if I was in the US and with my Medicare, then I apply for the supplement again because you're outside the country for more than 30 days. I get the supplement back. Yeah, they would send somebody here to administer medicines, pain meds, everything. Because right now my chest is so tight and the coughing happens and I'm sick that I'm at that level. But right now I don't want to start taking those meds and I'm not going to start paying for it. So now I'm just putting it off. I'm taking care of myself. So I'll pat myself on the back. I got you, Heidi. Okay. Everybody saying their hi. Slick Rick is in the house. We said hi to Scott. Hey, Anthony. Everyone runs out of road sooner or later. Oh, that is a good statement, Anthony. You're right. And whether you're in the Philippines or America, it might as well be where you're happy. My happy place is with George and the cats. my happy place is that if I was back in America, I could not just order on Amazon whenever I wanted. I could before I left because George was running a business and we had income coming in. But if we went back now and he was out looking for work and everything, it could be months. So there goes being able to order what we need, being able to order groceries in without me sitting in a grocery store for hours. It's just so much more convenient here in the Philippines, but then you have to deal with all the other problems. So it's a catch 22, but I still am happier here. I miss my family like all get out. I really do. Some of them. And I miss Sarah every now and then. Look at me and my eyebrows. Oh, like Dr. Kevorkian. Yeah, make a trip to what's it called? Nah, religiously, I'll have to say that that's not an option. And it would freak my kids out. It would definitely freak George out. Because believe me, when you're this sick and in this much pain, like my muscles are seizing up on a daily basis. And again, this is the heart condition that's causing it. My hair is falling out. All kinds of things are going on. And I am in pain all day long. But I still push through. And I see why people that are sick or get this bad off would actually do it. But how does that leave the family? What do they think about that? Then they're all freaked out. And so yeah, I just gotta tough it out till it is take the old dirt nap. Okay, yeah, mate, you were abbreviating it. Flying to Guam, they have hospitals there too. Yeah, but the problem with that is the people who've done it, it's not reality. Okay, so me just walking up and just dropping into a Guam hospital, okay, they'll take the fluid off me and then they're going to tell me to go home and wait to set up the stents. I don't, they're not always just going to take you in and do all that setup or whatever. And so I'm just supposed to pay for a or pay for a hotel room till then. And I'm supposed to go absolutely by myself. At least if I go back to America, I would have had my family. But I can't fly there. That's where it all ends. I'm barely making it to the bank once a month and my doctor's appointments. And then when I go into AUF several times a month to do the specialty clinics. So, but it doesn't process through like that. And a lot of them are super busy. It's not like it used to be. It's crazy expensive healthcare is in the Philippines. Well, it's way cheaper, but for Filipinos, yes, I feel that some of them are way out there. Like I can't believe it's cheaper than the US, but like when I get these blood panels, they hit me at 15,000 pesos this last time for one of them. That's insane in my opinion. To charge that much, that's definitely on a good Filipino, that's a week's salary. And that would be 60,000 pesos a month if the household made that. Oh, thanks, Violet. No, it's true. 2 teaspoons extra of virgin olive oil will help the chronic inflammation. Dog's out there barking. Hey, maybe that's George. He can take over while I go pee. I always thought that many of the healthcare professionals in the Philippines would have very reasonable prices. They do. Like all my appointments are under 1,000 pesos. So it depends on the location. When I go to the clinic for the heart specialist clinic, and that's what the name of the place is, I want to say it usually ranges from 6 to 800 pesos. One of the specialists in AUF was 1,000, and the other two were 800. So it just depends on the actual one, but it's still under 20 bucks to see those people. Those would cost hundreds of dollars per visit for a self pay in America. To see a pulmonary specialist based on your breathing issues because of your heart condition would be hundreds of US dollars. So it's kind of thank Ronald has been so consistent, like a lot of our viewers that have been good. He has on a weekly basis, if not more than once a week, sends that. And it means so much. I mean, the medications, like I said, are adding up. And right now, it's just a matter of, It's it means a lot, Ronald. You guys have no idea. Just for as many people that say I wouldn't give her a dime, she's scamming, they weren't to begin with. And those that are helping know that it means something. This isn't fake. This just didn't hit sudden, and they know the type of person I am. So it does make a difference. Now, that sounds like him making it home. Should we let him on? I think George is in the house. We'll see. Between your husband, the engineer, and you, the nurse, you should be fine. With nursing in my past, I'm not stupid to medical, and sure, why not? Oh, you've been running around, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, here, I gotta make sure that's connected. I take it. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it. I'm just saying, if you're going to join this, you're here. 1 second here. Well, you got to give me a minute. Yeah, George is in the house. Yeah, you'll just have to reconnect. Oh, right here it is. Be careful that you don't lift that up. Don't just rip it because it'll probably cause. You're going to hear static, guys, because George is putting his.
No wonder I can't.
Well.
No. I'm saying it was.
Yeah. So no, I disconnect his mic, one, because he's not on the live streams. He's now our official video boy and runabout boy, runaround boy. Hey, why you wanna get me a running around? Dun, dun. But the other part is you can hear the machine. And so I disconnected. It was the biggest thing because then you have the sound from the other side of the room. Hey, don't forget to feed the healthcare person you bring. Yeah, no, if the person's here for 12 hours, yeah, they're going to be eating and drinking. Of course, we wouldn't do nothing but that. They would have access to everything, tea, anything tea, coffee, water. Yeah, the exchange is, really high right now, 61. Hey, Vet Vlogs is in the house. Yeah, as soon as you're done going to the bathroom, you can talk to the people around because I got to go to the bathroom. So, yeah. Good morning, everyone. I'm praying for you as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the updates. Yep, don't forget to do that. Don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you, Nigel. Thumbs up, thumbs up. So did you get all your stuff done this morning? Did you go see your new baby and everything?
Yes.
Your bit and the baby?
Yes.
We call him Kitabata Bibi. Oh, I found out what that smell was outside. It wasn't, I don't think it was all what you think. The cat food, it's in 2 bowls outside. The bigger one that had a level, it looked like it had food. No, it went bad when it got wet from the rain. It was nasty. It smelled like dead animal under it. So I guess when cat food gets wet, and it looked like it was, I didn't see that underneath there, it had been wet. So it just looked like one of the bowls had food in it, and I just left it there the last 2 days. I was filling the other one, and I even put some on top, but I guess it had water, and it started to go hard, but underneath it was nasty. It was like mushy or something, right? And I went out there today. I was like, I got to get that out of there. And I dug it out. It smelled like rotten meat. So that may be where some of that smell was coming from. But I guess there's protein. It makes sense if it got wet and it was sitting there like that in the heat that it would have actually done something like that. So, all right, 1 second here. Hold on, guys.
Yeah. morning, guys. How are you guys doing today? Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Santing abak, mayong buntag sa tanan. What? No, I know, I'm aware.
I guess you're a creature, Pat.
Well, I'd say hi. I mean, yeah, it's been the gas prices are in the Philippines have gone down. Actually, like 10 pesos, but by that much. So that's a good thing.
You've left this
Oh, I did. Yeah.
3-4 times a day. Okay, now you're
Hold on.
running a little late. I was ready to quit 11. Well, I thought you'd be back sooner. I'm aware of that. I just thought you'd be back sooner. I'm like,
Oh, sorry.
I mentioned earlier you might, and I'm like, I was ready to go. Ready to run. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, my hair's a mess.
It is. You smell like a corn chip there, baby.
Okay.
No, you do. It's hot out there, guys. It ain't even a joke. Oh. I'm hoping to come back in the next 2 weeks when, what's the word on the other? I don't know. Not here right now, but somebody said there was a case in Singapore, but that was just a rumor. So who knows where that'll be by then. A little scary, but nothing would surprise me at this point. So will there be a new shutdown? It's hard saying. It really is.
Probably.
My mother went into hospice 3 times. The first 2 times she walked out. Yeah, it seems like every time hospice stopped all her medication, she got better. Yeah, see, I only got better when they added the new ones. That's for sure. I didn't get worse. But there are some people that are on the wrong ones for sure. Those cats are going to miss you. Yeah. California Expat just dropped another gem. I can't watch him. I tried and I did initially. It's just too scripted for me, but he is a good businessman. Like, he knows he's been here for a while, so there is a lot of good stuff on his channel. I just certain channels when it's just what to me is commercialized stuff like the Filipino I can't watch these channels. I'm more into the reality stuff, reality shows. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with those channels if that's how you want to see it. But the fact they're fully scripted and the fact that they're based on not as much as his experience. He talks about his experience, but I feel like he's just doing an overall, I don't know. I'm either have to like the channel or you don't. You're like going to be running from the mic there. You're holding it in hand like.
Yeah, because they said there's something wrong with the mic.
Okay, so what's it doing?
They said there's static.
Well, there could be officially something sitting on it, or take and move this over there. This is probably too close. It was fine before it got messed with.
No, they said it's when we hooked up the mic.
Yeah, well, yeah, check the back of yours.
No, this part is fine. But I was thinking it was this one there.
Okay, did that get any better? Guys, can you still hear, or did it get better?
It's better right now.
Okay, so
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
George is here, so let the party start, right?
Right. Cuatro cantos.
Kumasta, Kuya. What is going on, George? Heidi is now muted. Yeah, no. It was mute, but then the camera, and then I was questioning George being out all morning because he went out early today. Thought maybe an hour in or something he'd come crash in my party to say hi, and then he's an hour and 30. So I take it traffic and everything's crazy out there.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. No, it is. I don't know. It's been crazy like that. Like what? For instance, yesterday I was running around doing errands. From Robinson's Mall to here is like a 15-minute drive. Yesterday it took me an hour just to go from there to here. No, I like I said the here. Okay, I don't know about where you guys are at. All the gas prices have gone down. Every gas station I've been to, they're all at 85 on average. 85. The cheapest one I found was 81 pesos per liter, and I think that just brought all the Filipinos out. Seriously.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's with it being cheaper, being able to. There are not many who are stronger than you. I wouldn't say that. Okay, yeah, that's a while back. It wouldn't matter if there was or not. I'm not doing any exercise. I'll be honest, somebody left a comment about that the other day, about doing it to improve my health. And no, I'm not floating in water with everything going on. Everything is bad right now. So going swimming and floating and doing something aqua fit is not going to help at this point. I am too beyond that situation to do that. I can't barely make it to the bathroom. I'm not going to a fitness class, which is usually more than once a week to actually go there and do that. And no, I don't have the ability to do that in my medical condition. Being big had nothing to do with it. I've been a big girl and bigger than this by far and did all of that and worked out. With my heart, I cannot do it. So thank you, Vet Law. Wishes for Heidi from the Philippines. Annex, a full speedy recovery. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's
Thank you.
vlogs.
Okay, you said the status, trouble with the audio. Is that possibly him out there?
It's possible.
Sorry, check that. Just in enough time. Usually he said he wasn't coming till the afternoons.
No.
Okay, that was just somebody up the street. Yeah, because the driver says his deliveries are in the afternoon. Cuckoo said hi to you. Hi. Brian's like, oh, George is in the house. He's back. Hey, our Philippine journey is in the house.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Heidi got to get rid of some of that fluid. Yeah, I can only do it by the extra water pills that I'll say at this point I'm allowing. I did not want to take one at nighttime. That just sucks. That just killed whatever sleep I was getting at night. That 4 hours, because I have to get up every few hours, every hour or two. So
Morning, Brian.
yeah, that's. But yeah, I mean, it would make me a lot more comfortable. So George has no retirement, whatever that means. Hello, George. A lot of y'all don't. And actually, he does. He's got to wait like everybody else and age out.
Yeah, I'm not of retirement age. I can't claim.
He paid into it all those years to at least get that. Okay, as of 4 or 5 minutes ago, she says it's bad. So is it okay? Now it said it's better. Just reading through here. Okay, yeah, it's probably when we plugged everything in and everything's nearby. Heidi is sick, everything hurts, but yet she comes online to talk to her fans. Because I can't just lay in bed all day and I'm not moving. It's not like I'm sitting here dancing around. Running my mouth even up to 5 or 6 hours is not my issue. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and do this if I'm hurting so bad in the chest and I'm not catching any air, but I am. So I talk throughout the day. So, and sometimes I do talk for a while. So it's not I am just sitting here stable. So thanks, Ronald. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. So nothing new going on. Got enough. You're going to be editing a video. What's that one about?
These nuts.
Bitch, you about ready. Bitch, you about ready to go back to where we was a week ago, and then we could go through that.
I made a video on how to shave.
Okay, are you opening yourself wide open there?
Yes. In order to shave, you have to be wide open. Correct.
I'm so glad you can join me because this ain't gonna last very long. You came in just at the right end and you came in late, so sorry. And I meant that. And when I meant that, you mentioned, oh, well, maybe I'm gonna drop in on your live stream. I'm like, well, don't wait forever and be out there all. And then what do? You out there, blah blah blah. So it's just where it is. And I love how you contribute. And when you do, I'm gonna put the goddamn timer on you. So would you like to elaborate on what's going on with the live stream today and the topic?
Yes.
That's pretty much what I thought. Yeah, there it is. I have D's Nuts t-shirt, right? Yes. I've actually got ice packs, yes. Oh, Scott's saying hi and everything. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Thank you so much. Hey, when you go, can I have your eyebrows? You can have everything else that's under this hat, too, girl. So, yeah, it's like you still got the eyebrows. I still, with the haircut I've got, still got a lot of hair.
No, Heidi it's a full head of hair. Yeah.
No matter what level it's at, it's crazy. Yeah, Sarah, there's been a lot of decent people. Hey, Mike, I do appreciate everything. We looked to see that your video, Mike did a live stream on, he had brought in his opinion about what was going on, and of course, so did the trolls. But I have not looked back on the comments. I'm sure they would like me to go through them, but it was eye opening and stuff to be able to do that. We had discussed my medical and everything. So, but take care and say hi. Hi, I say Eileen. Say hi to your wife, Arlene. I was gonna say Eileen. I had come on Eileen on the head. So it was just like, yeah. And she sent me some stuff. Like I have these shampooing caps that I use, and she sent me all kinds of things, sheets for the hospital bed. She's been so sweet, and we talk all the time. And yeah, so it's like she knows what's going on. Here, situation. Hey, Scott, video game controller evolves into a muscled version of itself under the word LVL. Is that like a nerd thing?
It's like level up.
Oh, level up, level up. Okay, wait a minute. Is that the type of sticker it is? That's why we're seeing it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So here I'm reading it because
Yeah.
it doesn't show what the sticker is on the streaming software. I'm like, well, what does that mean? It's the sticker of
Yeah,
the game controller
level
jumping
up,
up
yeah.
and down. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scott. Another big fan of mine. Not
Thanks,
so much
Scott.
George. It's
Right.
George's boyfriend. One of George's boyfriends. Or they call them male friends. Something like that. Male friends. Yeah. So no, what the live stream was about was basically there was another vlogger that said if you got any pre-existing, do not come to the Philippines, which I call that's bullshit. It is
Everybody.
90% of people that are our age, 50 and above, have one pre-existing. And if you don't, then you better go get yourself checked out. But you got something, blood
Yeah, pretty
pressure or
much.
something.
No, that's true.
Don't come with any mental issues. I said, you lost me at that point,
Yeah,
bitch.
if you think you don't have any pre-existing yet, then go to a doctor and have a full checkup, blood work and
And
everything.
if mental, that just puts everybody out. Well, practically everybody. Don't come here with no mental issues. Don't come here with any addiction. So this kind of pinpoints who the vlogger was. No addiction. I'm sorry. That's half the reason some of them are actually coming here, whether it's for wussy or whether it's for there's some addiction in everybody's life over a certain age, even if mine is sugar and pizza because they got yummy food all over the place here, full of sugar and salt. You going down like the Titanic based on the food here. True story. And then
Well,
it becomes cheaper.
to clarify, expats aren't addicted to wussy. They're thirsty for wussy. There's a big difference there.
They're addicted, George. You get my point. To say anybody addicted shouldn't come here. So the whole point is you need to pull yourself together. Not having the funds is one thing, but yes, having all those, but it also is not going to stop the expats. And then there was a Facebook forum where they said 3 months' salary was enough as a savings for a fund. We had 60 when we left the United States. Our tickets cost way, way more to get here. We spent a bunch of money in Mexico. When we got here, we spent it furnishing. We went through the money and it went just as easy as it stayed. So there is no perfect time and there is no set amount of money. Only each individual is going to know, but be aware that you're going to fall into these things. There was a $20,000 amount mentioned. Some people said, yeah, don't even worry about it or just get your insurance. I never get sick. And they're telling him to go. And then there was a whole debate of are few people mentioning that promissory notes are just fine. And I think that was brought up on Mike's live stream. And I thought maybe he would address that, but they're not doing promissory notes here. They're going to want the money for my stints minimally up front. They're not going to just let me walk in, even to drain the water. I could be in there from 10 days to 3 weeks trying to better the inflammation and the fluid. They're not going to let me sit there, and it's just not going to happen. Promissory notes are very far and in between. And then the one vlogger came in and proclaimed that his son is disabled, and he gets them all the time. It can't be.
Well, the promissory notes have limitations, aka, for example, first off, they're not going to do anything unless you're admitted. What I'm saying is they can not they don't have to treat you unless you're literally dying. It's like the US, guys.
Yeah.
It's like the US. Unless you're actually dying, they don't have to admit you.
Right. So his must have been he went in, had a breathing issue. They treated him. It ran the bill to 7,000 pesos. And they're like, come back or 70,000. And he probably had property and other shit there. I think the guy owns a place with his
Well,
wife.
that's another thing, yes. Promissory notes, you need to have collateral. Without collateral, your promissory note is worth nothing. Literally.
Well, there were some statements that I have a monthly American pension, so they should give it to me anyways. No, that's not going to be, a lot of guys do. But that one Aussie guy, he had to buy the actual hip part before they would even consider. He was paying piecemeal for meds, and when he didn't have the pain medicine, they didn't just give it to him. They knew the man was in agony, and they still let him sit there. So the whole point is you do that. I'm gonna sit up here and here in the AC and do what I got to do. I'm not gonna go sit in the hospital and somebody say, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that today," and maybe you don't need all those water pills because you can't pay me. No, and I'm not walking out with it just can't and won't happen. Promissory notes cannot be how you're going to back yourself up. So it's kind of insane. I mean, I guess you could just run.
Yo, and again, thank you, Scott, for being a member for 43 months.
Oh, whatever,
For 43 months.
That's your boy, not my boy.
Scott's been a member for
Mrs.
for
A,
43
or
months.
yeah, Mrs. Scott is okay, or I call her Mrs.
Isa.
A. Yeah, I call her Mrs. A. She's okay, but besides that, it's just Scott. It didn't bring me no candy corn. I, oh my god, yeah, candy corn is my thing. Speaking of which, George at remember I told you he brought me the Jelly Bellies. One of the types is the candy corn. Yeah, don't waste your money on that one. It doesn't really taste like candy corn. It's definitely they use what they're supposed to, the powdered sugar and all that, but it's not like the classic ones. It's got like a vanilla maple like flavor, whatever. It just tastes like they used powdered sugar, and that was it. It was all. It just looked like a candy corn. That's all I can say. It really tastes like a candy corn. So,
Right.
but thank you, Scott. Nice to see you, George. I love the Philippines because I'm in
He's
Malibol.
Malibu. He's horny.
Uh, is it, aren't most guys? What about you, George?
Always, all the time. I
Yeah.
always carry a cat in my pocket. Pocket pussy.
Georgie, you handsome devil. He's here in the flesh. Scott saying, hit that thumbs up.
Oh
Why?
yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Why would you have an American pension? Why not? I mean, you guys don't know every single thing about me, so I'm kind of
I don't think they're
curious.
talking about you.
Oh, well, nobody else mentioned anything. I mentioned pensions and other things.
Yeah.
No, not everybody. You could be Canadian. You could be a lot of things. So why or why not? So my God, I think I want to leave the Philippines now. I want to leave the Philippines now. Huh? Because of the heat or something?
No, because you said about the medical thing.
Well, here's the thing. It may not happen at all, guys. The thing is if you can get insurance and you can afford it, then I would. But then a lot of people like me, they start breaking it down. You're not going to get a $50 policy. I'm sorry, it won't have. You guys are a certain age. Most of you have some sort of issues going on or whatever. You're talking several hundred a month. What was the minimal for you? 200, 300 a month? When we talked to that Sun company or something, the laundromat guy that was also the what's it called, and we talked to the what's his name. Both of them together, we were still looking at what 600 a month,
Yeah, something like that.
seven. And we thought about it. And we're like, well, wait a minute, that's 6,000. We haven't used it in 6 years. Blah blah blah. And went through that, and it's just like it's just where we went. We're not that rich either to just sit there and give out a percentage of our income each month. And I'm like, so yeah, that's on me at that point to think, if I'm even insurable back then. So I will have something for you, Clark. All right. That's if I'm here. I already told the kids I might not be here. So they're talking about coming here in September too. I'll be gone in November. I'll be gone in November. Dun 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 dun. January, February, March, April, May. There's a song, Be Gone Till November. Every time I turn around, girl, I think about and cry. I ask myself why. You know that song? Why?
No.
Girl, you must understand. I can't work a 9 to 5. So I'll be gone till November. I'll be gone till November.
It sounds familiar.
Da-da-da-da-da. January, February, March. So, anyways, I'll be gone in November.
Don't talk about that.
Ah, yeah, let's see. Checking in from Lapita. What is going on? Oh, and then still fighting the good fight on the cat infection on my leg. So
Oh,
I'm
no.
on a second antibiotic, but it is getting better. So being my legs and the inflammation, and I have the edema, my legs were already on fire to begin with. It's just the way the circulation thing goes. and then add in the cat bites. So then they're like, yeah, that's starting to look a little infected. So here you go. Here's the second antibiotic. And I'm like, dang, man. So it just like, I'm like, okay. I said, George, that's a real weird balance. You go in to take care of that further. You go in the hospital, that's it. They're going to hold you in there just as long as the damn getting the fluids off me. I said, losing my leg versus, it's like, yeah, just, but it's doing way better. It's closed. It's not leaking and it's a little itchy, but I think it's because it's healing. So I'm on double antibiotics now. Listening in the semi truck in Prescott, Arizona. Hope you guys are well. Doing about as well as George's face looks. Kind of like a Mack truck. Oh, that got your attention?
Right?
Are you awake?
No, I'm actually asleep behind these glasses.
You can't see your eyes. You just as shady behind them as the shade that's on those glasses. Shady. When people give you candy corn at Halloween, that was the trash candy of the night. I know, but that was like the good stuff. I would trade my sisters that for chocolate. George knows I'm more on the fruit flavored or things like that more than chocolate, and then it's got to be a caramel thing.
Well, nowadays they give
White
you freaking
chocolate.
like apples and crap like that. They give you like health bars and stuff. Like Jesus Christ, people. No, really, they do. It's
$600 a month health insurance in the Philippines. There's no way I would pay $300 for myself if there. Yeah, but that is the going price. And George listed no medical issues in both companies. It was several hundred for just him. Of course, with me being overweight and the lupus, and now, especially if I would try now, it would go up. But back then, we were up to that amount for the two of us on and they're like, oh, and we'll have to do this, and that to get the policy going. I'm like, yeah, I just can't see and there's not many expats that would make that decision. If they had a bunch of money each month and had a bunch in the bank, then yeah. But most of us were still in that, like, oh, I'll just pay self pay or I'll fly back. My biggest mistake is thinking I could fly back. That's got to be the golden ticket for people. Most of them are relying on that, George. Almost the ones that, and there were some comments on there. I'm just going to fly back. But what if you get to my point where you had little to no notice? I think we were down to none. There was no time frame to say, hey, I should have left 4 months ago, or I should have. No, literally, you're going to have a stroke. You're going to have a heart attack. You're lucky to live from today up to 6 months situation. Then what are you doing? If you can't breathe, if you can't stand. When I went in, it went from me being able to get around to where I couldn't hold myself up at a counter. It hit me that quick. And that's the way it does. When that artery strangles off, that's it, guys. You're getting little to no blood, oxygen. The whole thing just, people have no idea what the heart is really doing. It is a major situation.
well,
That was it.
not to mention most of the time you won't even notice. For example, with Heidi,
Like Mike, his was instant too on the plane. He said he had the I believe he said the blood clot or whatever, and all that happened all at once. He had to have that done emergency.
well, yeah, and like I said, also like Heidi, for instance, during the time there was a good stretch where everybody around us, Filipinos and the like, are sick. They're like hacking, coughing. They're all like literally. There was like this little, like everybody we know is sick, like literally. And what I'm saying is, it was during that time when Heidi thought she got infected, that she caught a bug, So
And I want to let people know I had COVID when I was here, and I don't feel that's part of what could have been eating at my heart. But if you add that in, that also caused people a lot of issues too.
right. So what I'm saying is, again, like you think
I
that you're
survived
sick
COVID.
because of something else rather than your heart condition. So
Yeah, the lupus was enough,
yeah,
like we
and that's
said.
another thing too. Yeah. So you don't, with Heidi, she really didn't see it coming.
I had told Mike when he mentioned my sedentary life and me being obese and all that was repeated, and I'm like, well, you could just see in Mexico that I was fine. I wasn't overweight. I probably was overweight according to the doctors. What I'm saying is I got all over the place. And the whole thing is when the lupus progressively got worse. Who knew that it was going to get progressively worse? Somebody's like, you should have turned around in Mexico. No, I was fine in Mexico. It was just probably the last year I kept telling you guys, oh, I'm tired. I need a little oxygen. I need this, and that. And the actual doctors indicate this is just the lupus. You get new medications, you're told to rest. My daughter has it. She is struggling and she's young. So it's like, because my life becomes sedentary, it's what happened. I mean, I don't know what people expected at that point, that with the lupus and the issues I was having, that it was just going to change something. But it became sedentary, yes, because of, I mean, it just did. I was having a hard time getting around at that point. Muscles, knees hurting, all these things were going on. But the heart condition was just all at once. And me and George thought during the last year that it was just lupus, it was the continued thing. But no, I had been checked out. The only thing I didn't go to was the heart specialist at that point, and that wasn't until January. Test showed it right away. So echo, EKG, everything. So that's kind of where it is. Did you pick up a stray cat that attacked you and bit your leg? No. Freaking George wasn't here. I went out to go get a package. That's usually George's job when he's here. And what had happened is that the when I stepped out, there was a cat on the porch, and I mistaked. I said it was White Boy Rick. It's Pigsy's dad. White Boy Rick rarely comes around. It's Pigsy's dad that got me.
Oh, is it?
Yes, he's been out there every day, and that is him. It's the yellow and white. That's not White Boy Rick. That's Pigsy's dad.
Oh, okay.
It's an oversized cat like that orange one that we have, and I stepped out and stepped on him. And so when I stepped out, it was his reaction. It was me that got him. And so did a reach around and chomped the back of my leg. And because of the fluid retention, it just sprayed. The blood sprayed. So it just went from there. And I was like, oh, shit. And so it just went from there. So no, I was not attacked. He's not rabid. I don't have rabies. It's just that I'm going to fight this infection for a while. So. And George is going to have to hear about it.
Right.
Good question. Nobody's asking for chocolate. We can afford our own chocolate, thank you. Just the moral support that people have been giving. I mean, I'm glad that you're actually asking. It's been mentioned through other sources that people out there talking is that, oh, now she's admitting she's scamming for the money because she doesn't really plan to have this done. We knew it. No, I'm a realist. I am in a hospice one way. We're just going to use the funds to do what we've always said. It's to pay for medicine. It's to pay for the visits besides the heart doctor, which have been covered. I'll be getting, the other ones do some testing. It's to pay for the health care because I said the chances of saving that money is going to be slim to none before I pass away. So you put in that, yes, these are statistics that I looked up. If you have somebody with my cardiac output, some people have higher. Their outlook is half of them can live up to, I believe they said, what did I tell you, 5 years? But when you add in my cardiac output, my lupus, and the other readings like the SVI, the stroke level, whatever, these are indicating there's little to no blood. Then we're talking under 6 months. And then you put in all the breathing issues and coughing up phlegm and the treatments that I'm under, then yeah, that's why the doctor said, you don't have years, you don't have a year, you don't have 6 months. So it's a day-to-day basis. So the money is being used for anything medical. So, but just any support that people or that they learn something, that was the other reason. I didn't have to do this. I mean, people are like, oh, now we get to make fun of Heidi and why is she putting herself out there? She deserves this and she deserves that. And it's that one channel on what's his name made that statement that, oh, she's just lying about it because she won't, it's everything out there is wrong. and that she won't, and she just won't go. She's just holding on to money. And I'm like, wow, what a scam for a total of 5,000 maybe put together before taxes. That's what we did this for, to put myself out here to be picked on. And I'm still out in the public and everything. Like, we would go through all this, just like they say our fights are fake and stuff. Why would we go through all that and look like the broken expats that are out there on other channels? No, it's just we don't hide it and it happens. So I'm just trying to tell people that, this could happen to you, to be prepared. Now, I bet you most of you tuck this away. You're going to say the same. I can fly. I'll get out of there. So there was some guy recently that said go. And I'm like, I can't. And I don't know why for the life of me. And these aren't trolls that are saying it. These are regular people. Go anyways. And it's like, how do you suspect I'm going to go anyways? Even if I don't bring an oxygen machine, they're going to see that I'm sick. I can't go without the wheelchair. I can barely move. I would get halfway through the airplane thing and I would practically need to sit down again. There's just no way, guys. It's, I'm just at that point, and people are like, well, you had time. I didn't have time, and you may not either. So I'd be making other arrangements, or you just roll the dice like the rest of the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need funds. I don't need that. Or you could be what the other vlogger said. Shit, if you got any pre-existing issues, mental issues, if you guys have this, and that, don't even bother coming. But I said the other day, don't be like that either. You don't want to sit in America and be eating cat food only 3 times a week because you ain't got any money. You're being homeless and out there trying to protect your life every night from a fentanyl freak. I mean, let's just be honest. You don't want to be in that life either. There's a tough balance.
Well, so here's the thing, and a lot of people forget about this. Wherever you are, I say this a lot. Wherever you are there. So I'm saying, if you're a miserable person, it doesn't matter what country you move to, you're a miserable person. However, the difference is, there's a difference between you're a miserable person and you're scrapping and struggling versus you're a miserable person and then you're comfortable. That's the difference. We're not trying to sell you a cure-all, or we're not even trying to sell you the Philippines. All we're saying is there are alternatives in life where you can live a lot,
It's kind of like when the homeless decide to go from Michigan and they go and live in California or Florida. They're going to take that opportunity. Don't do it. It's too expensive down there. Don't do it because there's more drugs. You have to take that chance. You can't sit there and freeze your noogies off. That hurts the body. It's the same thing here. Don't be stupid. Like, some of these guys have went as far as to sell their house, cut their family ties, like literally children, and they give away the inheritance that the kids are supposed to get. They don't come with much of a monthly income and little to no savings. They might have the house money. What do they do with that house money? They give it all away. They get here, they do things they shouldn't do, they drink it away or whatever. But my whole point is don't be crazy either. But you can't say blah 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 like that vlogger did. I get that it's for clicks and stuff, but it's the other part of me is like, yeah, then who the hell comes? People like you display a lot of that stuff. Who doesn't? You can't say that this is just lost you somewhere. What's up? Hey, Laura is in the house. Hey. I stepped on a jackfruit my husband had on the floor, almost fell. It was in the dark. Oh, snap. That probably had to hurt. Hey, what's going on, Linda? Let's reinvigorate the donations. I'm prepared to pledge 5,000 US if we can secure 8 others willing to commit. Yeah, I'm just wondering how people would do that. So that would be contacting us the same the last person did. That can be given directly to the hospital. We've discussed that. There are accountants there. There are where they've got coordinators for surgeries and different things. The one person that sent the 5,000 in for the heart specialist, that's for like some of the blood work. That's like for some other things. That's secured directly with them. That never came into our hands whatsoever. And the other part of it is I would suggest that if when people are serious, and there have been some serious people, they can send the money directly to AUF. It's where I plan to get it. So it doesn't even have to come through our hands because we're such scammers. So, for the doubters and everything, then yeah, if you all want to get together, and we have had viewership get together and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. So, like coordinating on, doing things or helping us or a big birthday surprise. But yeah, it's, doesn't have to be to us. It would be directly to the hospital, AUF. It is where actually the heart specialist clinic, he has privileges there. So technically, all three doctors are privileged to go there. But nope, they'll take the money into an account. But yeah, hi all. Hey, hey, what's going on, bad boy? Let's see, will you get stints if that happens? Okay, so in order for this to happen, and again, this is what I've been seeing, is that it would have to be enough money for the whole procedure. So all the money can go there, as far as I'm concerned. The I cannot get this done until I get the water off my body and until the inflammation comes down. I will be. They're either going to want me in ICU for part of that time into a regular room to get that off of me. The fluids, the swelling, the between the lupus and the heart, it's causing inflammation in the body. It's all got to come down before they attempt those stents. You can't put stents in and not have a rejection. So that has to happen. When they see this cat bite, they're really going to freak out. I'm sorry, I am not going to get any additional treatment than what I'm getting. So that's something on the total side, but they're going to keep me until everything is corrected. So, on the side note, after that, then yeah, it will pay for the stints. And we're talking, depends if it's one, two, three, then it actually goes from there how much it is. 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. It just goes from there. I have to have specialists there. And then, like Mike said, there's 3 days afterwards. And then there's going to be a bunch of follow ups. So, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I? That's been the whole plan. When that happens, I get well enough, then I go home. So would we figure a few months to recover, go back to America and get treatments? That's just where it is. So it's what I've been saying the whole time, Linda. Yeah, let's see. If you have 5,000, pledge it. Why do you need the group? Well, I think she's trying to get people, yeah, to get it. So that's understandable. Most definitely. Yeah. So, hey, Harry is in the
Hey,
house.
hey, Harry.
More than likely, that's John. He just can't help himself. Um, let's see what is going on. Harry is in the house. Yeah, most people can't, and you know what? I'm lucky that people have, and that people have done any support at all. So even Sarah said $1 from everybody would at least kick up a 26,000 amount. Now, if I had 26,000 US, I would go sit there for 10 days and get rid of the fluid on me because it's not easy for me to walk right now. It's not easy when this fluid gets this built up. My body is total concrete. Everything feels it feels like I got in a car accident every day, and everything's bruised every time he comes near me and touches me. It hurts, but I can't see going in there and doing that and using up the money that I want to use for the stents. So it's just, if we had an extensive amount, then I would go further and do, treatment that I really need now as we're waiting. So, and that would probably be, I don't know, would we say 5,000 times It's at 250,000. I doubt it costs that much, but we don't know if they're going to keep me in there longer than 10, 12 days. Some people have been in the hospital for 30 days to get rid of inflammation, and it just gets more complicated. So
Right.
to me, that's just a, what do you call that? It's a luxury at this point to actually go in and take care of things like that. So then I just suffer because of it. I'm not even taking pain meds. We're talking just acetaminophen and stuff. So my husband had a double bypass 2 years ago and is now getting stents in his groin tomorrow. Oh, wow. To complete blood flow around his entire body. He's 71 and kicking hard. Wow. I wish you luck on that. It's a serious situation. And people, when that hits, it hits. Really, the heart's the last thing I thought would go out. I thought I'd be in there for like a knee replacement. I thought maybe, I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think it would be this and this soon. So
Yeah, it's like what Ronald Holland says. Like, people feel good and they don't think anything's gonna happen to them, and then if it happens to you, then what are you gonna do?
yeah, even as a big girl, you guys have seen me around the Philippines and stuff. I really, I had issues because I was tired from the lupus, but midday I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to rest situation, but I just, I'm actually like shocked and everything. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, and glad to see George in here. Is that your hair? No, that's the fan.
It's the
flopping
fan.
up. It looks
Yeah,
like your
it's the
hair
fan.
is flopping up.
That's
and
why my
everything.
hair is messed up, because
Yeah.
the fans keep blowing it. Yes.
Well, it's the way that you could turn it around. But thank you, everybody, for your support. Good to see George here. Don't ever come back here again. So you keep on doing your videos. No, just kidding. So we want to drop in and say hi. And he was out dawdling around earlier.
Right.
So
Yeah. Laura says if every subscriber donated $2, it would cover it.
give or take probably the entire thing. Yeah, that'd be like
Right?
56,000.
No, it's true. It's true. But most people don't do that, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.